Um, I'm going to show you Google Colab. Google Colab is a Jupyter implementation of Python. And Jupyter interfaces are just notebook interfaces. And I've already got this file called beam1. Um, so this, if I open this up, this is a notebook interface, kind of like Mathematica, but it's Python. So I don't actually have Python installed on my computer. I am running under Google Colab to do this. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do symbolic integrals using SymPy, the symbolic toolkit for what do we call these libraries? Yeah, symbolic library for Python, right? So I'm going to import SymPy as SP. I'm also doing these things right here so that I can get pretty output, like right there. Okay. So if I hit this little triangle, that play button right there, that'll evaluate that part of the code. So I'm doing this step by step, just like you would do in Mathematica, instead of writing a script and running the whole thing. Nice thing about Jupyter is that you can also enter text right here. So if I double click on that, that's just a text field right there. If I come between here, I can add text or code, and so I can actually document my solution as well as write the code for it. So this bit of code right here imports SymPy. This one right here just defines some symbols. So I've got some symbols C1, C2, X, and foo. Foo is a local variable that I'll show you later. So this is the same beam I did in Excel and Mathematica. So the length of the beam is 1, this force is 1, and this is a one-to-one slope, or rather that, excuse me, the maximum value of the distributed load there is 1, like that. Okay. So I'm pushing the play button to execute lines of code. This right here is just, again, a text box. If I double click on this, this shows you, this right here is the LaTeX code to create those formulas right there. So like in a text field, you can actually write LaTeX. And when you click out of that, that'll show up right there. So again, this is just me writing stuff in LaTeX. It's not actually doing any code. It's just explaining what's going on. So again, here's the beam. I'm modeling only things that are exactly between, or rather that are only between and not exactly at the ends. So I'm not modeling this reaction or that reaction. I'm not shutting off the distributed load. I just have this force here and that ramp there. So W naught over L over 3 is the rise over run times the unit ramp at 2/3 L. Starts at 2/3 L. Okay. And then you would just integrate Q to get V and integrate V to get M, adding constants as you go. Okay. This -1 is actually in mathematics, that's called the Dirac delta, which Python uses. So I'm going to model this right here using the Dirac delta for this and the unit step or the Heaviside function for the for that. Okay. So minus f, so I'm defining this function q of x, and it will return minus f times the SymPy Dirac delta at x minus L over 3. So that's this angle bracket, x minus L over 3 to the -1 is that right there. Okay. Now I'm doing minus W naught over L over 3 times, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to replace these guys with normal parentheses. So I have minus W naught over L over 3 times normal parentheses x minus 2L over 3 raised to the 1. That's how you do exponents in Python. So I just replaced the angle brackets with regular brackets, regular parentheses, and now I'm multiplying that by the SymPy Heaviside, which kicks in right there. So this just operates as a switch. which is 0 if x is less than that, otherwise it's 1. So it's this whole thing right here times this switch that turns it on at 2/3 L. Okay? In Mathematica, we use the step function. In Excel, we used an if statement to do the same thing. Okay? But once I've defined that, I could actually have SymPy do the integrals for me. So I'm defining the shear force as returning the integral of Q with respect to X plus C1. For some reason, when I was doing this, they might have fixed this bug, but for when I was doing this originally, they had a problem with this Meyer G function. So I'm just turning the Meyer G function off. This is integrating Q as a function of a local variable, which I'm calling foo, and then evaluates it at x. This is how you do indefinite integrals in SymPy. Okay, so if I do that, okay, so I could actually, now that they're defined, I could actually say, show me v of x. And there it is right there. There's the x. This is the Heaviside theta. There's my C1. And since I've defined it as a function, I can actually plug in any value I want there. So here's v of 0. And if that's a 0, x is equal to 0, this term drops out. If that term, well, this term drops out. X would be, or 0 would be less than that. So this entire term drops out. This theta term does. So everything drops out except for the C1. And I could say also give me the value of the bending moment, right? And tell me what the bending moment is at 0. And it does that, okay? Put it back to the shear force. Okay, and now what I have to do is solve for those unknown constants, C1 and C2. So I'm using the SymPy solve function. And this is this equal thing here is not the same thing as this equals that. This is now an equation, right? So I'm using a SymPy equation thing where the bending moment at 0 should be 0. So this is one of the boundary conditions. I don't know what the shear force is there without doing statics. I don't know what the shear force is at the end without doing statics, but I do know that because this is a pin and a roller, that the bending moment should be 0 in both places. So this down here is just saying the bending moment at 0 should be equal to 0. And the bending moment at L should also be equal to 0, and I'm solving those for C1 and C2. So I get the same values I got in both Mathematica and Excel. And then I can plot that. So there's the shear force and the bending moment in Python.